So, for everybody's sake, Jonathan is our friend that helps all of the Americans move over to the bee's knees of all tax jurisdictions, which surprisingly is France.
Yeah,
Do you want to give us just a little bit of background on you, your firm, the
sure.
Expos, why the White House is
Ah,
behind you, everything?
so the Expos were the greatest baseball team in the world, and it was robbed by America because of the strike of 1994. And I can continue on, but no. My name is John Hadida. We are Hadida Tax Advisors. We are a U.S. and French tax firm specializing in Americans living in and around France. Now, why do I say in and around France? Is that 99% of our client base is in France. The remainder is somewhat in Switzerland. We've got some clients in America. We do U.S. and tax planning, U.S. and French tax planning for Americans, and we also do tax returns for Americans living in and around France. So we do both the tax returns and the tax planning for Americans living in France, and we work to ensure that you pay as little tax as possible in both jurisdictions. We've been doing this for a number of years. We are a small firm. We are now there are 5 of us currently. We are looking to grow. So if you ever want to do U.S. and French tax returns, please let me know. I'm more than happy to have people join our growing and exciting team. But basically, we specialize in Americans and living in France.
Enlighten me on France. There's this rumor that French taxes are so high because it's a socialistic country, etc. How did you get to this being the bee's knees of all uh, uh, double taxation
Everything
rules?
Everything in life, Brian, depends on your facts. Tax and facts go together, they go hand in hand. So if your facts are such that you are a US retiree looking for a place to retire, France is it. There is no better location in Europe to retire as an American retiree than France, which, as I say, is the bee's knees for American retirees. And the reason that it's the bee's knees for American retirees is that the US French tax treaty is designed to have all US source investment income, interest, dividends, capital gains taxed solely in America. So France will give you a credit equal to the French tax, and thereby you will pay no French tax. What does that mean? That means you are going to probably pay less tax living in France than you would in Minnesota, than you would in Missouri or any other state that has taxes in the States. Basically, you will pay less taxes. So that's how we come to the bee's knees. You're a US retiree, France is the place.
I love it. I love it. So essentially, you've got you that can help them out. They've got a great jurisdiction to be in. They've got wonderful wine. They've got wonderful food. Could anything change in the next couple of years when it comes down to the tax world?
Everything could change in the tax world in the coming years. The main thing that I would look at is basically 2026 in America because of the sunset of the Tax Cuts and Jobs Act. And I'd look at 2027 in France. 27 in France is when there's going to be a new parliament, well, a new presidential election, which will probably bring with it changes from there. 2026, as I said, sunset of the Tax Cuts and Jobs Act. On the French side, will much change? I don't think so, because from an American retiree's perspective, you are banking on the tax treaty. So unless France and America break their tax treaty, which, stranger things have happened, but I highly doubt that's going to happen, you are basically coming to France and your situation is pretty much set. Now, on the American side, the Tax Cuts and Jobs Act, things will change. A new Congress is elected, will be starting in January. Then that Congress will have the sunset of the Tax Cuts and Jobs Act at the end of 25. Now, that entails potentially changes of the tax brackets, potential changes to the standard deductions, potential changes, most importantly, to my eyes, the estate tax. Because if the Tax Cuts and Jobs Act sunsets, you're going from a $13.6 million threshold, which it is currently for 2024, 2025, to about a $5 million threshold. So these are the kind of things that could potentially change between now and later.
Brilliant. So you help not only on the US tax side, the French tax side, but also estate taxes and
Yes.
fortune telling about what crazy politicians might be doing in the future.
I don't do much fortune telling. I basically am just here for the facts. So when it comes to fortune telling, I leave that to Madame fortune teller down the street. But basically, no, we don't do fortune telling, but we do look at the tea leaves and try and help you as best as possible, to make sure that your situation fits the rules. Because again, you don't want to be caught flat-footed if the rules change, if slash when the rules change.
Brilliant. I have three last questions for you, and then I'll let everybody go for the day. First question, how do people get in touch with you, Jonathan?
Hadtax.com. So our website's hadtax.com. They can also reach out to team@hadtax.com. So again, hadtax.com is our website, team@hadtax.com. Shoot us an email and we will schedule a consultation. More than happy to talk to you and help you with your tax questions with regards to France or the US.
Second question, what is the most underrated town in France that everybody needs to know about?
Everybody must know about Montpellier. Montpellier is not the hotspot for Americans. Americans go to hotspots such as Nice, go to hotspots such as Paris. They go to areas such as the Pyrénées-Atlantiques. Montpellier, my friends, that is where it's at. It's got a university feel. It's got a lot of hills. So if you have a hard time walking, I don't love it that much. But it's got the beaches. It's got the center of France. Center of France. You can be in Paris in a couple of hours. Montpellier, my man. Montpellier.
I love that. You heard it here first, and all of a sudden the
Yes.
trend's going to happen. All the Americans are going to move down there. Okay, last question, then I'm going to let you go. What is your favorite French dish?
Oh, my favorite French dish is whatever my wife cooks next.
Good answer.
So it's as simple as that. Whatever my wife cooks next is definitely the best dish. But basically, when you move to France, you're looking, the wine, the food, the cheese, the chocolates. I'll be honest with you, it's the pâtisserie that gets me. So that's why if you look at me a couple of years ago versus today, you'll see that I've grown exponentially. It's because of the food. But hey, c'est la vie. You got to live.
But so has the smile. The smile has expanded. Keep smiling. Jonathan, wonderful seeing you as always. Make sure to get in touch with this man. He has saved so many of our clients and made so many others happy by helping them get moved over here to France.